Well, it's 6 o'clock on a Monday, and the regular crowd are shuffling in.
Bright and early.
So we got a big show this week.
We got
Jarret's back.
Jarret is back. His monthly segment where he does a bit of a forecast on.
That's back. Terrific
Physical
TV Tuesday is back after a 1 week hiatus.
Yeah, we're talking about the best films of 1999 on this show.
And then I hope you brought your pom-poms, Glenn, because the movie battle this week is Bring It On versus Sugar and Spice.
Yay!
It's nerdy cinematic ramblings time.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
But before we do, why don't you jump on to our website, goodmoviemonday.com, and check out all of our social media and like and subscribe. You could even jump on the website and buy merch.
If you want a t-shirt or a hoodie.
It's so new that we don't even have t-shirts or hoodies yet.
That's right.
But they're there.
We're
and
also
they're for sale.
We're not the kind of podcast where I'd wear my own brand. I'm not about that.
I would just be covered by my laptop. Because I only ever have 5 t-shirts.
Well, why would I wear a Good Movie Monday hoodie when I can wear Fruit Loops?
Well, that is...
Well, from where they're watching, it probably looks like fish food.
But it is Fruit Loops. What they
Fruit
can't
Loops.
see is that it's actually too big for you, and when you stand up, it's like you're wearing a muumuu.
I know.
An open muumuu, which is disturbing.
I bought this on a recent trip, and I didn't wear it because in the change room they had those deceptive mirrors, and I'm like, oh, this looks pretty smart.
Like, I like wearing baggy clothes anyway. Like that's how Joey Jeremiah used to.
I look like bloody Bob Ross with this. It goes like a smock all the way down to my ankles. But anyway,
wear it as a nightshirt.
I mean, I'm looking at myself in the footage. It doesn't even look that great on camera, to be honest with you. I look like a test pattern or something. But anyway,
You look like who was that? Who was the doctor on Triple J that used to?
was it? Oh, Dr. Carl.
Dr. Carl. Yeah. He
Yeah.
used to wear the loud shirts.
Anyway. Yeah, so goodmoviemonday.com. Excellent advice there, Ben.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, this week, it's a big week for you, not so much for me.
Is it?
Because you went to the movies.
Did I?
You did. You went to see Megan
No,
2.0?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you didn't go and
I
see it?
sent somebody else to.
Oh, I thought you went to see it.
No,
Oh,
remember
well.
there was a whole thing? Anyway, no, I didn't.
I do remember that now. I just didn't think it was that one.
No, but I have seen Jurassic World
I've
Rebirth.
seen Jurassic World, and I've seen Final Destination, whatever the thing is.
Is that? But that's
It's old.
okay.
It's not that old. It's still. I saw it at the cinema.
Yeah, but it's not out. It's not out this
It's
week.
not out this week.
No.
No. What is it? Final Destination.
Bloodlines.
Bloodlines. That's right.
Yeah. So can I just quickly Jurassic Park Rebirth? Look, there's a really, really tight embargo on this one, so I won't say too much because the embargo lifts pretty much the day of release, right?
Right.
But I've seen it, and I don't think they'll mind me saying that I really enjoyed it. It's a real return to that original trilogy. If you actually combine the first 3 films, mush them together, that's kind of what you get in this. It's mostly part 1 and 2 with a little bit of number 3 sprinkled in. Fun adventure. It's a very serial type of thing, like the old pulp magazines and all that kind of stuff. A welcome return, but won't say much more than that. Lots of dinosaurs. There's even mutated dinosaurs. It's a very interesting film.
Speaking of mutated dinosaurs, I'm hoping that they do the team up that's waiting to happen, Species in Jurassic Park,
Wouldn't that be good?
where they combine a.
Well, that was going to be the direction of this trilogy, this new trilogy, before they scrapped the idea, because that's what the last trilogy was leading towards.
it was human dinosaur hybrids.
Yeah. So, but
That's interesting.
they really jumped the shark with the last few movies. So I think they've tried to wind it back, and it's a good story. Scarlett Johansson's great.
I was watching. I remember, we were talking a bit off mic about Lethal Weapon.
Yeah.
And I've been watching a lot of clips of The Patriot on YouTube, and I kind of forget that Mel Gibson, for a while in all his movies, he would always have this special thing with dogs.
Does he?
And then, if there's a dog in the film, he basically can Crocodile Dundee them.
Okay. Yeah.
He does a thing where they always, like Lethal Weapon 3, he gets the guard dogs.
Yes.
In The Patriot, he steals Cornwallis's dogs, and then his 2 Great Danes, and then returns them. But then when he leaves, they come with him anyway. And that's what what's his face from what's his name? Arnold Schwarzenegger's stepson
Yeah. What's his name?
does now with the dinosaurs in the last three trilogy. He's the trainer and he does the
Chris Pratt. Yeah.
hand thing. Yeah.
It's exactly right. There's a long way to get to that.
There's a long way to get to that bit.
What about? I don't know if you caught this, but the Shrouds is also out this week.
I did catch this. I am interested to hear what you think about it.
All right, so it's David Cronenberg's latest film. Keeping in mind, this guy is well into his 80s. He's an old man.
That's no excuse, but yes.
This is. Oh, I know what you think about it already. And look, in many regards, it's a return to form, just in genre terms.
It is. Look, it stars Vincent Cassel, Diane Kruger, Guy Pearce, Sandrine Holt, and Jennifer Dale, whose sister is the star of Heavenly Bodies. I'm just going to put that out there at the start.
Firstly, I'll just say Guy Pearce is great in this. I really liked him. I did. I really liked him. He's a nerdy kind of weirdo. I sort of
was doing the impression of someone else, and now it's just gone out of my head as to who I thought he was doing an impression of. But maybe it will come to me.
There is
about it.
Look, for the first half of this film, I was well into it. Like, I love the concept. It's this sort of eccentric guy that's grieving the loss of his wife, and he owns this really weird concept cemetery where he shrouds these bodies in this like material that allows him to watch the decomposing bodies in real time.
Yeah, you watch them.
Yeah,
on your personalized screen.
Yeah.
At the
and in an app as well, and it's sort of his way of connecting with his wife's process, right?
Yeah, but you find this out while he's on a date
Yeah,
with a prospective new love interest who is taken to the restaurant outside the cemetery. So the cemetery is a restaurant, because that's in the future. That's what we're going to have.
Yeah,
and they're surrounded by these shrouds, and he's like, "Oh no, they're real shrouds.
I invented these." That's right. And so it's very grotesque. It's a very meditative film. I believe Cronenberg wrote it from his own sort of grieving process with his wife, which he passed away. And naturally, a mind like his goes in this direction. But I do think the movie unravels quite quickly. As soon as it clicks over to the second half, it just sort of becomes stupid, laborious, almost metaphysical. I just didn't care for the second half.
Yeah, look, the second part, I didn't care for a lot of it. I mean, it's just because you watched it before I did, and you texted me when you were watching, going, "This is old school Cronenberg."
I was 20 minutes in.
Yeah,
I was 20 minutes in.
I was like, I was watching it, going, "No." I completely see what you're talking about in terms of genre.
Back to grotesque.
The kind of the body, the horror of the human body type stuff.
The obsession with the macabre.
Yeah, that is definitely there. But it just feels like Granddad's playing with his kids' toys. It's too clean. It doesn't have that. The best thing about Cronenberg really has always been that kind of what he did on a relatively low budget. Once people started, and it's the same with John Carpenter. It's the same with any of these guys. Once they got given these big budgets, I think they lost something.
Well, yes, I agree, but I also think too these old blokes got lost in the world of digital when digital cameras came along.
Yeah,
it lost a lot of that cinematic flair. Whereas the new crop of filmmakers,
it just makes me think of that Danny Boyle video we watched when he's fascinated with the new iPhone.
Yeah. Whereas the new crop of filmmakers, though, they've been raised with this technology, so they know how to utilize it. But Cronenberg, he's used to his 60mm reels and shit like that.
Yeah. But it is weird. It does have this certain look to it, which, I don't know, and we'll talk about it a bit later because I have it here, and we may do a bit of an unboxing. But the French New Extremity box set, and watching Martyrs, and it's not on this box set, but Shaitan and another couple of these, they all had this very, I don't want to say shot on video look, but there was there's a certain look to French movies of that specific period.
Yep.
And watching this one, you're like, this is very. It was bizarrely clean. I'm really struggling to put it into words. Yeah. And I also don't know if Vincent Cassel was really the best choice. As good of an actor as he can be,
I enjoyed him in it.
It's clear that English is not his first language, which it isn't.
Yep.
And there's just something about the weirdness of the subject matter and working in Cronenberg's world that I think it lost a bit in translation.
Sure.
Not that it And funnily enough, I think he comes good in the second half of the film.
Yep.
And Diane Kruger plays a dual part, and there's some weird fucking shit goes on in this. And it does, there's bits of Existenz in here. There's bits of Crash in here. There's there's bits of was it Maps of the Stars in here. It's all in there.
It's mishmash. Yep.
Yeah. And it does get.
I'm sure you appreciate the sexy time though.
Look, I was. Yeah. It was,
It went on a lot longer than I thought it would.
It went, and fucking Diane, I don't know how, hats off to Vincent Cassell, because Diane Kruger did not shut up the whole fucking time. And you're like, come on, the guy's trying to work. But look, I think it's definitely worth checking out. Like it or hate it, it's definitely worth checking out.
She's talking about his dead wife while he's trying to root
but that does it for him.
Because it's a twin.
But
It's like he's rooting his wife.
But what I do like about it too is that she's turned on by these outlandish conspiracy theories that he comes up with. And the more bizarre they get, the hornier she becomes. It's a bizarre. It's very. I mean, look, it is very Cronenberg. It's a bizarre film, but
leave it at that.
We'll just leave it at that.
What's in the box? What's in the fucking box?
No, it's not Gwyneth Paltrow's head.
What's in the fucking box?
But it's close. I did receive. Look, last week this was in the box, which is the New Extremity.
It made a cheeky appearance last
collection.
week.
It did make a cheeky appearance. So I've got that to unwrap. Mm-hmm. But also during the week, I got the fantabulous. This is Hammer. Hammer are releasing these themselves. Captain Kronos Vampire Hunter.
Ooh.
Look at the fucking fatness. It's a fat release. It's a fat with an F and a fat with a PH. So I'm looking forward to unwrapping that bad boy.
Hold that up.
And that came, I ordered it at the same time as Shatter.
Shatter?
Which also just came out, which I've got to crack open. So without further ado, we'll start with the Umbrella one. Because,
all right, let's do it.
Because it's the one that I...
Oh, Jesus, just headbutt the microphone, Glenn. Jesus.
Glenn, obviously the one that Glenn is most excited about. Because he headbutted the microphone to get to it.
I realised I just had a computer mouse in front of me for no reason whatsoever, and I needed to move it, and you saw what happened. All right, so the New Extremities collection.
So look at this. So it's a 4-disc set. It contains High Tension, Anatomy of Hell, Frontiers, and Martyrs. I think Frontiers is the only one of these I haven't seen.
It's a good collection.
The only thing that bothered me about it was that they had just, a year or two ago, released Martyrs separately.
Yep.
But
all right, so yeah.
So here we go. So it's all custom artwork. I'm not sure who's done the.
Should just say also, if you are somebody that's listening to this podcast through one of the podcast apps, Spotify, iTunes, whatever. It's a very visual part of the show. So we are on YouTube and Facebook and goodmoviemonday.com if you want to watch the video of this.
They haven't listed the name of the artist on the back of this. And look, it's number 42 of 2000. I've just devalued this by opening it. But it is custom new artwork, and it's all kind of in a style. And they've just announced the next one, which follows the trend.
We've got High Tension there.
That's High Tension, which is a really good film. Great to check out if you haven't seen it.
There is a poster inside there.
Now, what's the artwork on the poster?
So you've got... Is that the right way up? No, it's not. You got that.
Interesting.
See? And then you've got that.
Which is it? It's not the original artwork that I remember being the original artwork.
No, not for me either. Is trying to think the original artwork.
Who is Marwen in High Tension? Is that what it says? Cecile de France, I remember. Is Marwen must be her friend. I didn't realise that she was in it.
Yeah, pretty cool artwork. As you were.
Yeah, so there we go. So that was... Oh, I put the other ones away. So that's High Tension. Anatomy of Hell. Now, that's an interesting one. Rocco Siffredi. It just... no poster in this one. It just smells, as they say. Catherine Breillat, the Catherine Breillat film. This is freaking weird.
Mm-hmm.
It's a weird one. What else is there? Martyrs, which we just talked about, which is, vies for the most extreme. Prior to, I think, a Serbian film, this was like right up there with the most extreme films. And I worked on this release. I don't think they've done anything new.
This would have pipped Salo at the post or something like that.
Oh yeah, more full on than. I mean, Salo has a bit more.
What I'm saying is this came along and bumped it off as the most extreme.
Yeah. It does have one of the great opening scenes, extreme opening scenes.
Do you find, like, as you get older, are you more tolerant to the extreme movies, or are you softening up and not into it as much?
I'm just becoming a bit blasé about it.
Yeah. Because, young people, you're all about how fucking extreme you can make it. And even I remember when, like, the Human Centipedes were coming along, part 2 particularly. Yeah. The more they could push that with the baby stuff and all that, like, I was all about that. I'm like, yeah, fucking take it to the extreme. And now I'm older. I'm like, do I want to watch that? Like,
yeah. I mean, that's going to be interesting when we talk about the 16-disc Haneke box set.
I love Haneke.
That's coming out soon.
I've always got time for Haneke.
It's not that. I just kind of... It's weird. Like, we were talking earlier about the sex scene in the Shrouds.
Yeah.
And, thanks to the internet, now watching that, you're like, it's quite tame. Yeah. It's clearly two people faking it.
That says more about you than
anything. That does say a bit about me. So you're watching this extreme stuff and I'm just like, I'll read about a movie being cut and you look at what's being cut and I'm like, it doesn't faze me that it's been cut out because you're like, well, who cares? 2 seconds. It's just a bit of extra gore.
Pass me what you've been through and I'll put them back in the box.
It's
the easy way to go about it.
And the last one, Frontiers, which is the one that I am interested
in. Not the last
to see.
one? I don't think you've done that one yet.
Yeah, I did.
Did you?
Yeah. Just doesn't have a poster in it.
Oh, of course. Fucking hell. Paying attention here, Glenn. Jesus.
This one does, though. So Frontiers has the poster. There we go. And that's Xavier Gens, which it's the one I haven't seen.
This segment is organised chaos.
Ah, I see why I didn't have a poster, because the other one had the poster on the other side.
Ah.
See, these are all original, so why is High Tension not the original poster art? That's very interesting.
God only knows.
Yeah, so anyway, Martyrs on one side. My microphone's blocking the other way. Frontiers.
Very interesting that 2 movies on the same sheet.
Oh, that's Umbrella have always done.
Really, have they? Okay.
When there's in a box set like this, in the Ozploitation one as well, it's...
That means you don't get it, like you can't have side by side.
No.
I'll put it back in.
Only in my Full Moon box sets that come with the standees can you do that.
All right, I'll move on to the next one.
I know, we still got the book.
Oh, we still got the book
the
to
hardcover
go. Wow.
booklet, which I'm not sure if this incorporates the stuff that they did for the original Martyrs booklet, or if that is unavailable.
I think these books add a lot of value for money when it comes to these releases. Like, they're hardcover, they're well produced.
In this case, it's hardcover. I don't know what the hardcover... I mean, hopefully the hardcover adds the ability to open them up wide without the pages falling out, which is a...
I've always liked the hardcover. Like, if I'm reading a novel, I prefer a hardcover to a soft cover.
I just find this is very, Tash and gift book type. Like, when they're small and hardcover like this,
journal.
I just find them I find it a bit odd.
Needs a little clip that comes around with a magnet.
It does make it easier to read.
Yeah.
Look at the hardcover. And of course there are I've just banged the microphone. The stills.
Your turn.
The
lobby card things.
The lobby cards. So there's the good ones for Frontiers. 2 for Frontiers. Or the alternate artwork for Martyrs. The High Tension poster, which is the same as the poster. So why did they double that up? I'm not sure. They couldn't use the alternate art once again. And there's another... I would say that's a Frontiers image. There we go. Switchblade Romance, but again, once again, it's the same art. It's the same artwork, just a different color. They didn't get any of the Cecil de France. The Cecil, what's her name? Cecily de France holding the chainsaw artwork. Martyrs.
There's the greenish sort of this color cover with the chainsaw.
I just remember there's one with her with the cap pulled down over her face, and she's holding the the thing, and that's the back of the thing.
There
So
we go.
that's that one.
Okay, cool.
Now the one,
If you like extreme horror, this is one to get for sure.
yeah, they're great films. They're super interesting. Well, look, Anatomy of Hell's not really a horror film, but the rest are.
All right, on to the next.
Yeah, they still got. I still got bits to put back in there.
Okay, we'll get to that later.
This one, I always hate the middle part of the wrapping here because it's always the hardest part to get through. And if you go too hard, you
Okay, yeah. I always do it like down there.
Down the side. I'm just scared
Into the crack.
as they say.
I love it into the crack. Crack of the hammer.
They're cracking. If I can leave that on there like that. Oh my god! I think I've just.
Did that feel good?
I think I've just come. Look at this! Look at this fucking thing.
Yeah, this is a good looking thing. Tilt it downwards, tilt it down. Yeah, look at that.
There's that, and then on the back,
I love that color scheme. Gorgeous.
red and green, and then so it's like a bookcase inside a slipcase.
You're bloody gorgeous, mate.
So here we go. So there's look at the thickness of that booklet.
That has got some...
That's the graphic novel.
Oh.
So that's a graphic novel. It's a comic book.
Yeah.
And then the Kronos Chronicles, which is super in-depth, booklet all on, and then the original lobby cards, which I love.
Oh, this is very cool. Got Rob Roy in there.
And a very nice texture too. This is it's amazing how all these companies, a lot of them do, like Imprint does them, Umbrella does them, Hammer are doing these kind of lobby cards, and each one of them has a different texture and paper print quality. Feel the...
Oh, I like this.
Yeah.
See, this is taking me right back to childhood, and it'll have a smell. Yeah, I'm trying to think what it reminds me of. It's almost like baseball cards, like the cheaper baseball cards.
Yeah.
The ones that didn't have the gloss on them.
Here we go. So it's a lovely...
Oh, I like that.
Captain Kronos, a Vampire Hunter poster there.
Yep.
And then, so it's like that's the
Yep.
cover on the artwork
Beauty.
there, which
I'll go
is
through
very
some
nice.
lobby cards here. You can see them on the screen. I
We
mean,
didn't really talk about the extra features on these releases.
no. I mean, too, if you're watching this and you're interested in these, I don't want to give you too much. You can discover a lot of this for yourself.
But look at this. Look at this. A Digipack. Digipacks are the rarest. They're not the rarest, but they're the most dangerous
Enlighten us.
because they break. They break in shipping. We did it for ABCs of Death, and I reckon it was a 10%
Usually
return
the
rate.
center clip is...
The center clip
yeah.
breaks, and people return them, even when they've had them for 3 weeks, and then they bust them.
That's
they
how
still feel like they can.
Way back in the day, that's how my Pink Flamingos and Female Trouble case came. Broken. Same with Highlander
So
TV
this
series.
this comes with a widescreen 166:1 UK theatrical version, and a full screen 137:1 as filmed version, the old Academy ratio in 4K.
Up there, see what you're doing. Okay, yeah. Look at that. That's awesome.
It comes with a widescreen 185 US theatrical version on 4K. It comes with both those on Blu-ray, and it comes with a whole bunch, an extras disc with documentaries and interviews and stuff on it. And get a load of this.
That is a collector's wet dream.
Look at this fucking thing. Like, this is what I wanted to do with Human Centipede when we were doing the three of them.
On camera, that looks like you're holding one of those. Remember the magic Rubik's rings?
Oh, I feel like it. I look like the swanky con men in movies when they show all the credit cards they have. Oh, which one?
Party tricks, novelties.
So look at that.
Yeah, wow.
That is-
Ben's a lucky boy.
That is spectacular. It doesn't actually say on the cover what the extra features and stuff like that are on the disc, but I'm sure that's information is available online.
There we go. Is that it?
But that's that one. Do you want to crack open? We can crack open Shatter as well.
All right, we'll do one more. Arguably, the sloppiest segment on the show.
Yeah.
This is Organised Chaos.
Oh, hang on, it goes in here.
Down. Yeah, you got to whack it back.
That's what she said. All right. So we'll do it Glenn's way, which I hope doesn't mean I cut the.
Oh, you got to know what you're doing. This is coming back from my years of video store experience here.
I don't want to slice the
No.
the packaging of the part inside.
Hell no. Dude, how do you open yours?
Tell us in the comments.
Yes.
Okay, so obviously there's the packaging. Now that is artwork by Tony Stella at Studio Stella. His artwork is fantastic. He actually did the artwork for the latest Indiana Jones poster.
All right.
He's like the new Drew Struzan.
Is he the son of a bitch that changed the logo font?
I'm sure it wouldn't be down to him.
Yeah.
That would be
Piss me off.
Believe me, nothing appears on those posters that isn't sanctioned, approved, or demanded by a committee.
Made me so angry. Why change it now?
So look at this. Have you seen Shatter before?
No.
He's a hitman. Stuart Whitman is a hitman who happens to be well versed in kung fu.
Of course.
And he travels to Hong Kong, and it's a Shaw Brothers Hammer and Shaw Brothers co-production.
Oh, of course.
So that's the Shatter dossier.
What a
the
co-production.
booklet.
Yep.
And then this is also a digipack.
Ah.
And so maybe it's just the quality of our one, because this one, it hasn't broken at all.
And the discs are holding on for dear life.
And they're holding on, but that's the artwork on the outside. So there's Shadow in this. So there's 3 different versions: a 4K of Shadow in widescreen 166:1, which is interesting, 185:1. A Blu-ray Shadow 166:1, and a Blu-ray of Shadow in widescreen 185:1.
There you go.
And there's the inside.
And this poster that we have here is the same kind of it's matted. It's not gloss like those cards.
That paper stock is just...
It's good for if you're framing something.
Yeah. Oh, look, is that... Yeah, look how good those posters were.
Yeah. There's that one too.
That's obviously it looks like that's the German artwork.
Yeah.
What's the other side? Is that the Italian artwork?
Yeah. Awesome. Very cool, mate.
I tell you, so Hammer are doing these
Yeah.
themselves, or I think I don't know if it's not the guy who owns 101 Films or something. He owns something else, and he just loves Hammer, so he just bought, spent the 25 million or whatever it was, bought Hammer Studios, and now they're starting to release these all their own. There's another, I think 1 or 2 that are out that I haven't picked up. Quatermass. There's a Quatermass box set, and I think Triangle, but I think it's called Triangle. I'm not sure, but I've never seen the film, so I haven't picked it up yet.
Well, there we go. There we go. Fantastic.
There you go. That was that was what's in the fucking box.
And speaking of physical media, let's maybe bring Jarret into the show and see what's coming out locally.
Awesome.
Physical media is very important, kids. One day, maybe the cloud ain't there. How are you going to watch Dogma?
Being able to hold it in your hand and see the artwork and the posters and have the names, it's it's a real thing.
It's such a sadness that you think you've seen a film on your fucking telephone. Get real.
Hey, it's Jarret.
All right. Yeah, well, it's me. Okay, is that's all? That's what I do this once a month, and that's all I get?
You can't ask for a better intro than that. For the benefit of the people watching the isolated video on YouTube, we're here for Jarret Gahan to talk about what's coming out on physical media for the month. How's that?
I just figured that we would have covered that in the intro and all the other stuff.
Yeah, but this video also stands alone on YouTube by itself, so that's a whole different thing. It's just so confusing for the old man.
I'm perplexed. I look at Ben. He looks like a deer in headlights, but that's fine.
It's
a beautiful deer though.
He always changes things up on the days that I host.
He always throws shit like that out. Like, what?
I do love that.
This is another Muriel's wedding all over again.
Now and see what goes on behind the scenes.
Talking about Muriel's wedding again.
That came up. I was out to catch
no.
up with Andrew Leavold from Brisbane last night. Muriel's wedding came up. I think because Priscilla came up, and then Muriel's wedding came up, and suddenly we were talking all about those, great Aussie films from that sort of period of 94 to about 97.
Did you mention to them that Glenn talks about it all the time on the show?
No, but it did make me
Missed
go,
opportunity.
when is Kiss or Kill coming out on Blu-ray?
Yeah.
Like, come on. Hopefully Umbrella's working on that.
I was gonna watch that for last week's show because it's a 1998 film.
Is that Bill Bennett?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's Matt Day.
I think it's
and
Bill Bennett.
Francis
directed
O'Connor.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
I can't tell you. I just remember Matt Day playing lead, and it's one of the few times he's played lead in like a feature outside of an ensemble cast sort of thing. He was
because he got kind of hot after Love and Other Catastrophes, and that was during the post kind of Tarantino period where there's True Love and Chaos, Kiss or Kill.
It
Heaven's
is
Burning.
Bill Bennett,
Yeah.
so we could get him on the show to talk about it if it happens.
We could.
Anyway.
Well, there you go.
Jarret.
Well, hopefully, fingers crossed it's going to happen. Needless to say, it's not happening this month. It's not happening in July. The first release I want to mention, I'm going to start with the releases that are dropping this week on July 2nd. The first one I want to mention, I've not seen this film, and I had no interest in seeing it until I found out who directed it. A Minecraft movie. I didn't realize Jared Hess directed this. Napoleon Dynamite, Gentlemen Broncos.
Yeah.
So I'm willing to give it a little look-see. Did you gentlemen see this one?
We did indeed.
We sure did.
And what was the feeling?
Indeed.
I was not a fan. Ben liked it more than me.
I didn't mind it.
But I've come around
Ben's
to it
played
a
the
little
game.
bit.
Ben, have you played the Minecraft game? I know you've played
certainly
Fortnite and that, but yeah.
It's a pretty empty movie. There's not much going on. But like I said, I've kind of come around to it. My recollection of it is a bit more favourable now than coming out of the cinema.
But admittedly, too, when we did go and see it, we saw it in a cinema full of kids, and that's going to tank anyone's movie-going experience.
Yeah, totally. 100%. 100%. I
But
will
also,
check it out.
But also Jack Black, come on. He's wearing thin on me. He's wearing very thin on me.
Oversaturated.
Lava, chicken.
Did you see the Santa film that the Farrelly brothers did that went straight to Paramount Plus? Yeah. It wasn't bad, but I just felt like it could have been infinitely better if it weren't Jack Black in that movie.
Little Nicky 2.0.
It totally was Little Nicky 2.0 for sure.
I love Little Nicky.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, Minecraft movie coming out on 4K, Blu-ray and DVD. Won't be blind buying it. We'll be watching it on streaming and probably never owning it. But for the fans, you can own it on all the formats.
I don't know if Amazon comes out with a Prime Day special of it for $8, I'm pretty sure Jarret Gahan's going to be buying it.
If it's on 4K UHD, there's a good chance because it'll have Atmos. Now look what arrived in my mailbox today. Nice and early.
You're going to put that on your
due,
shelf
for release till Wednesday, and it's the Sean Connery 6. I love that it's called, and that's what's on the spine. The Sean Connery 6 film collection. I'm like, not the Sean Connery James Bond 007 collection, just the 6 film collection. Could have entrapment for all you know if you see it spine.
I tell you what, you know who that's going to infuriate?
Who's that?
Walkden Entertainment. He will not care for that spine.
No, I imagine not. No. And you know what it's like with these distributors. There's probably going to be no consistency. So when we do get, say, the Roger Moore or we're not going to get the George Lazenby one, clearly. But,
Timothy Dalton one with 2 films.
It'd be funny
Timothy Dalton
one,
yeah.
It'd be funny if it's one of those packs where every disc is from like the regular version and they just lumped them all
just put it all in
and
there.
lumped them all in. Look, I haven't had an opportunity to check it because literally arrived today. But what I will say is that I've done some reading ahead of this release, and yes, they've all been completely new 4K remaster of the film, not the ones that had been previously on like iTunes and that. They've all got Atmos, and they've ported the bulk of the special feature content from the Blu-ray releases. Not everything.
Are they separate
no
discs
new
in there?
content.
Are they
It's a tiny little fat
separate
pack in
cases.
here.
Oh, so it's a
got
fat
slip,
pack.
and then it's a fat pack inside.
Yeah.
So just the 4K.
Oh, it does
So
look,
the-
I
it
think
does
that's
look
pretty
like-
much globally what it is. I think the UK might be doing it with Blu-rays in that ridiculously overpriced, ugly steelbook set.
Yeah, I thought they had different covers in the one I saw, but that must be the UK one.
Yeah.
That's that
Yeah.
UK steelbook collection. Yeah, I'm not a fan. I don't mind the art on this. I mean, that's
I
all
like
you
that.
get, and that's the same that's on the
It's
on
very,
the slick. But yeah,
it's focused towards the From Russia with Love like design,
Yeah.
like with the Japanese lettering. Yep.
But I'm really looking forward to digging into that. Obviously, this one includes Doctor No from Russia with Love, Goldfinger, Thunderball, You Only Live Twice, and Diamonds Are Forever. It's all the Connery films that property of EON, not the unofficial Bond
unofficial
film. Never
one.
say
Never
never
Say Never.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
The one where
unfortunately,
some guy gets killed by being stabbed with James Bond's urine.
I don't think that one's going to make. Look, I say it's probably not going to make it to 4K UHD, but I've been shocked by what's made it to 4K of late.
I mean, I hope it does. Like Rowan Atkinson is in it. When he lands on the island, and he's like, "Oh, Mr. Bond, Mr. Bond." He's like, "You don't understand, I'm a secret agent, right?" But then you're like, "Are you fucking kidding, Bond? You still go by the name James Bond constantly."
Yeah, exactly.
How
Anyway,
secret do you think
that
you are?
set is out obviously Wednesday this week. Also out this week. Now, this one's a JB Hi-Fi exclusive. So it's only available in what I have deemed a pretty ugly steelbook, Lethal Weapon on 4K UHD. Just getting that, that steelbook release exclusive to JB at this point in time. Hopefully, it's not an indication that we're going to have to wait 6 to 12 months for a standard edition, because we're only really seeing Terminator at the moment. We've just sort of, or maybe it's on the cusp, Nightmare on Elm Street, and those deluxe sets were released so far back. I'm hoping we're not, because I just don't like this steelbook at all. Like,
Really? I don't mind the
yeah.
cover. I thought it's sort of a pop sort of.
Yeah, it reminds me of those Universal ones where they did all that, for Snatch and American Werewolf in London, where it just, you've got iconic theatrical artwork. Put it on there.
That is true. That is true.
But
I guess
Lethal Weapon
that's kind of what
4K.
they do with the exclusives. Like they have an art that is exclusive.
Yeah, I mean, I just wish they'd do
that.
the standard at the same time.
Yeah,
so that
yeah.
you'd have an option, because we know the standard's going to retail for half of that price point. That's the way it went with Nightmare on Elm Street and Terminator. So you're paying an extra $26 premium to own that steelbook. So you can import a standard edition from overseas, probably set you back $50 to $60. So you're going to be in the same boat as buying the steelbook. But hey, yeah, Prime Day's coming, so there's a very good chance it might be on sale for sub $40 the standard, and I'll grab that. Also out this week, Osgood Perkins' The Monkey, and Roadshow doing it justice by doing a 4K Blu-ray and DVD release. So I'm pretty excited about that one. I think I'll definitely pick this up. It was not as great as I'd hoped it to be. It wasn't, another Long Legs for me, but it was a very enjoyable.
I liked it more than Long Legs. I think it's going to have repeat value. I think it's obviously more fun than Long Legs, but I reckon
it's just that third act for me was I don't want to spoil anything for anyone listening, but the third act is where it kind of lost me a little. I just thought it got a little bit silly, but I still really enjoyed it. It was just, it's difficult coming off the back of Long Legs. I was kind of
Long Legs is the final act that loses me. So it's interesting.
Yeah, it's a bizarre final act, but I just went with it with that one.
Not for nothing. The monkey has a monkey in it. Long legs, no long legs.
No long legs, exactly. Does not say what it says on the packaging. Does not do, I should say.
Made promises that
release
it did not meet.
Coming out this week, Imprint releasing New York, the Martin Scorsese film, Robert De Niro, Liza Minnelli on Blu-ray in a really nice deluxe edition. It's probably one of the more maligned films in Scorsese's catalog. I've got a soft spot for it.
Certainly one of the forgotten
want
ones.
to pick this one up.
I watched the Liza Minnelli documentary about 2 weeks ago. That was really good.
I don't know. Is that included in this set? Because I know it's getting a DVD release around the same time. I'm not 100%. I haven't looked at the specs on this thing were quite large for New York. And I mean, the previous Universal Blu-ray and DVD of it, I think, were just like so many special features on this.
Yeah.
Anyway, that one's coming out from Imprint. Then the other one I'm really excited about that's coming out from Imprint is the third volume in their TV Movie of the Week collection. This one's got Brian's song in it with James Caan. Fame is the name of the game, and
I remember that.
Matter of Life and Death. So I need to get this one. I might just wait for the price point to drop a little, because I mean it's $75. It is pricey. I do want it. We'll see if I can beat the temptation to pick it up. I mean, the annoying thing is there's just been a 20% off sale, and look, I probably would have bought it for it was that $10 cheaper.
Have you noticed that it used to be that when you bought a box set, the whole reason that you got a box set is because it was a bit cheaper than buying them individually, and there were films that you're like, I'm not going to pay full price for this, for each one of them. Now they charge you as if You're
all-
buying all
I
three at
know.
full price, but you do have to buy three, not necessarily ones you want. It's a bit
we
ridiculous.
are in the age of where they're charging you $80 to $110 because that's the only option they're giving you to buy one film. In the instance of, say, one I'll discuss shortly, Crocodile Dundee, or even some of the imprint stuff. Midnight Cowboy, Malcolm X. There's no other option to buy a standard at this point in time. So it's like, I feel like kind of look at it and go, but it is still cheap because this one by itself's $110. And you go, yeah, but not really. But anyway, moving on to July 9th, guys. Now, I know you guys saw this one theatrically, and from memory, I think you both quite enjoyed it. Novocaine, a.k.a. Novocaine No Pain.
Yeah, what's with that title? Come on.
Oh, it's stupid.
It is.
Like,
That's
absolutely
the tagline.
ridiculous.
They've incorporated the tagline into the title.
I mean, are we the only territory? Because I got a feeling the UK got it as Novocaine. They didn't have to put the Novocaine after
strange.
it. It's so odd. Like, what kind of idiots do they think we are? Or was it they thought that Steve Martin's Novocaine was that popular that they had to differentiate
They had
it
to
so no one got it?
differentiate.
I've
I think it
already
was
seen
because
that
of,
movie.
I think it was because of the success of Fear is in the Air.
or what's the other one? Live, Die, Repeat.
Oh, Live, Die, Repeat. Yeah.
Yeah. Was that the Tom Cruise one?
Yeah.
But was it maybe is Novocaine a lesser known drug in Australia, so they might think that people don't know what Novocaine is? I don't know.
I dare
maybe we call it
say
something
so, but I
else.
mean,
Yeah,
like, it's
I don't know.
look, it was never going to be a massive movie because you're banking it on what's his name, Jack Wade, is it?
Yeah,
Is that
yeah.
his name, Jack? I mean, I love him. Like, he's terrific. He's got a lot of charisma, and he's very versatile in films. And it's good to see him not play a prick for once. But you can't really bank on him. And then the female lead's sort of not really known as. Well, I didn't recognize it from anything.
No.
No, but it's
so
kind of
it doesn't feel like you should have to go to any major link to adjust the title to attract a wider audience.
that's right.
It's going to draw as crowd that it's going to draw.
It's been lost in the fold with the nobodies and the ballerinas and all these.
Oh yeah, and that
Far
Love
superior
Hurts.
to
Did Love
Alice
Hurts even
Ballerina.
get a theatrical? Like, that kind of came and like
And
it
nobody.
just I know there's way too many of them.
Yeah.
But anyway, moving on. So that one's coming out. That one's actually, though, it is coming out on 4K Blu-ray and DVD. So I'm really surprised about it coming out on 4K. I mean, there's another film that I'm not actually going to talk about, but I'll mention. I think it's called Woman in the Yard or something like that. It's a Blumhouse horror. Didn't do a theatrical here. It's just going DVD.
Where the whole premise is if there's a woman in the yard.
Yeah.
Was she?
There's a movie.
Was
There's
she-
a movie for you, Ben.
Yeah. Was she
It
brought there
says-
by a
It
milkshake?
does what it says. But they're not even doing a Blu-ray for that one. They're just doing DVD.
doing
So I'm
DVD.
like, why even bother? Why not just go digital with it? If you're not giving it a theatrical, like, who
Yeah,
cares
and then,
about this?
and then
fucking movie?
sub-license it in 10 years' time to someone who's going to
Totally.
do a decent job of
A
it.
proper edition of it. I've not obviously seen that one as yet. I'm not in a hurry. I'll probably catch up with it when it hits streaming at some point in time because, yes, the title does intrigue me, as does the simple premise of a woman in the yard. It's terrific. I mean, we've graduated from the girl on a train to the woman in the
woman in
yard.
the yard.
She's gradually getting closer to the house.
Yeah, what you want is a triple pack, and you've got the long tall grass, and then you've got the lawnmower man, and then you've got the woman in the yard, and it's like a perfect evolution.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's all part. It's along with Shop
You're
Girl.
an ideas man, Glenn. You're an ideas man. July 9th, there's all Ozploitation Volume 3 set, which Ben was pretty much, I think you were the main producer of this particular release.
I did the majority of the setup for it, and then I rage quit Umbrella.
Well, I don't know if you should be saying that, but anyway, there you go. But it's a lovely set. It's got Scooby Malone. It's got Goodbye Paradise, and it's got the Empty
Oh,
Beach.
sorry, the Ozploitation one. Yeah, look, no, I did that with. Yeah, no, that's right. No, that one I did pretty much all the way.
What one were you talking about then?
The second full moon.
I don't
box
think
set.
that's coming out till October.
Yeah, that's not coming out for a
couple
while.
of months ahead of
Bank
yourself.
that rage, mate. Bank that rage.
Yeah.
So what was in this one?
Sorry, the last one was the Empty Beach with Brian Brown.
And what was the other one, though?
Scooby Malone.
Goodbye Paradise.
and Goodbye Paradise.
Where was the audio commentary for Scooby Malone recorded, my friend?
It was recorded right here in this very office.
In the Good Morning, Good Movie Monday,
Good morning,
Monday,
Good morning movies.
studio. I don't know.
Yeah, it was in the Good Movie Monday studios. That's exactly where we recorded it, and it went off like a treat.
Did that at any point in time, anyone that participated in the audio commentary go, Yeah, Hellraiser 3. Oh, I remember that was a good one. Oh, Armageddon.
Why are there sequel posters everywhere? It's about 40 minutes in when they got bored of the film.
Whoever's room this is, they suck.
The worst taste in movies.
Now, there's a bunch of first-time to 4K releases that are dropping July 9th. I'm just going to run through the titles. Some of these, in the instance of, say, The Third Man, follows the UK release pretty fast, whereas the other ones are titles that have been hanging around overseas on 4K for a while. But we've got Zodiac, which is great because they're doing the 4K and Blu-ray pack, so that way you do get the theatrical cut on 4K, but on the bonus Blu-ray you get the director's cut. I mean, why didn't they just restore the director's cut on 4K? I don't know. Go figure. Anyway, I don't know what's going on with Fincher anyway, because now I'm hearing about Social Network 2, and I'm like, well, 1 minute he's doing Once Upon a Time in Hollywood 2, now they're talking about Social Network 2.
He is doing that, and there's talk about bringing Mindhunter back. Like,
yes, as a 3-part movie series or something.
So weird.
I'm like, just concentrate on that. Forget about the other things. We care not for the other.
I'm
things.
done with Fincher. I'm over him.
I know, what the hell? It's baffling. But anyway, so
Deal with
other
Dragon
first time to
tattoo
4K
ended it for
titles.
me.
48 Hours, Trading Places, Terms of Endearment. I'm going to pick up the local Terms of Endearment
for
if
sure.
all the special feature content's on that 4K. I prefer the artwork. It's the original theatrical artwork as opposed to the Paramount Presents artwork in the US and the UK.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last one was Sweeney Todd with Johnny Depp that's coming out as well. So all first time to 4K. Then, funnily enough, I mentioned the word drop, and Drop is coming out on 4K Blu-ray and DVD. Now, I have to tell you guys, this is probably one of the worst films I've seen.
Was not a fan as well.
It was just ridiculously over-stylized. It was painfully over... I'm like, all the style that was in the trailer, I thought, well, that's what you do with the trailer. And then the film, I was just like...
I had to laugh. They used that little TikToker kid as the son. Like that little...
Who's totally...
that little Irish or Scottish kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just got really upset. Like, I was like, I don't know who the lead actress is. And she's popping up in a bunch of stuff
Looks like
now.
Megan Kelly.
but Violet,
totally.
Is it Violet Bean? Whoever plays the sister,
Yes.
is much better. I'd rather the movie be about her.
Yeah,
she's in that. She's in that
character.
Disney Plus TV series where the murder happened, where she's solving the murder on a boat with Mandy Patinkin, and that show is great, and she is
I
great
haven't
in
watched
it.
that. Yeah,
It is a movie that back in the day just would have gone straight to a video store.
Yeah,
though.
this is the. This should have.
100%. I was like, if you cut out all of that ridiculous style from it and just made it a bit more traditional, sort of Hitchcockian thriller,
Yeah.
it would have been an infinitely better film. But it was just too much. I barely made it through it, but I did make it through it.
And that Kane Scanner is much better. Is that what his name is? The guy from Yellowstone and from 1923. He's much better when he just gets to brood and not say much.
Yeah.
Like
Too
that's
much
his strength. He's Burt Reynolds in The Offer.
Oh yeah. He's great. He was in
I
that
didn't realise.
that Blake Lively one, the one that had the fallout with Jason Badoldi, whatever his name is.
Is he?
It ends.
It ends with us, or it ends here, or something like that.
Yeah.
He's in that, and he's pretty good.
Yeah, right.
Right. Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. Moving on to July 16, lads. Crocodile Dundee, the encore cut, hitting 4K Blu-ray and DVD. Though, unfortunately, yes, if you want on 4K, you got to buy that $80 box set that includes a bunch of crap you don't need. I just wish you could just get a standard 4K of it. I don't need all the...
No doubt that will come.
Fluff. Yeah. Look, if you're going to charge me $80 for the 4K set, it better come with the original theatrical cut.
I thought you wanted a
Aussie theatrical cut.
Well, we'll be doing an unboxing of it soon. So
So there you go. But yeah, and then Crocodile Dundee 2 is also coming out in 4K Blu-ray and DVD. I believe that they haven't done any fiddly work with Crocodile Dundee 2. But,
no,
there
there was nothing questionable in there that caused the ire of some people.
It's amazing though. Like I did read like a pretty detailed account of the differences between the US release or the international release and the original Aussie release, and the amount of like dialogue changes, alternate cuts, all the things they did were just really bizarre. Like I understand there's certain things that colloquialisms are only really understood in Australia. Probably
but did you listen to the interview that I did with Delvine Delaney, because they explained all of these different versions out there, and the reason they're doing this one is to put put an end to all of the alternative
and
ones.
say this is
Although
the
I-
definitive.
Yeah.
I just wish they'd include all that stuff
yeah.
that they cut, though.
I
I
know.
just wish they would, yeah.
Well,
like
when
they
you say-
should just do all the alternate cuts. If it was imprint, it'd be 10 discs.
I hate sounding like
Oh,
a
yeah,
defender.
totally.
Like, I hate sounding like a defender of the encore cut because I'm not. I wish they just left the theatrical
Yeah,
cut. But
yeah.
like when you say all that stuff they've cut, it is literally like 5 seconds.
It always is.
Yeah.
When you look at the
It's
at Rod Williams' website,
the crotch grabbing scene.
Yeah, but
Scene,
no, but
yeah.
the scene is still there. Just the actual crotch grab is gone.
is gone.
But like the scenes in question are still there. They've just removed the little frames.
I am looking forward to the encore cut of Grease because apparently now that's become super problematic.
Oh, it certainly is.
I
Goodness
wonder
me.
how they're going to do it with Ace Ventura, because that was one of the ones that was circulating for
Wow.
a while there too.
Tell
That's
me
going to be
about
really
it.
interesting. Just remove the whole twist ending from it.
Yeah,
That's right.
Go
that's
figure.
it. Yeah.
And then the other title that's coming out on July 16th is Raging Bull from Imprint. Now, of course, this has been released in the US and the UK via Criterion, but Imprint's doing an incredible job of actually putting out a very distinct edition. And to be honest, I may double dip because it's one of my favorite Scorsese's, and I love that it uses the original theatrical key art, and it looks like it's got a whole bunch of new content.
Yep.
It's going to make me probably drop $110 on a film that I already own.
You know what they
On
should
4K,
do? They should
but,
do it. They should do it
yeah.
like a technicolorized version of it.
Yeah, somebody should colorize it. Yeah.
Actually, they could get my father-in-law into. He's very fond of taking black and white photography and adding like some sort of color filter, and he keeps sending us ones, and we're like, yeah, but it was taken in black and white, artistic.
But
purpose.
there's some
Oh no, there's a Photoshop filter that does it for you.
But
that
there
adds
are some,
color.
There's some fantastic
Yeah.
examples going back to some movies that look fantastic colorized, and that adds a little bit of charm. You know, like
Wizard of Oz.
Miracle on 34th Street.
Yeah.
Right. The colorized version of that's really lovely. Imagine Raging Bull. in
That'd
colour.
be great. I mean, it's such a grim movie. It would be perfect. You'd add color, but you'd be barely like looking and going, "Is that a hint of color?"
Yeah,
in
that's
that
right.
frame? I
Yeah.
can't
Then
tell."
you downgrade it completely. Like
It would be great. I'd love if someone did that and said, "Hey, Scorsese, check this out."
Look what I did to your movie.
And then we did a Michael Bay recut of the fight, so it's just like punching like full up close up, just like ruining the beautiful editing. So moving on to July 23rd, bunch of releases. Sinners is coming out.
Mhm.
Haven't caught up with this one yet. I've heard mixed things.
Loved it.
I loved it.
Okay,
I thought it was
so
great.
I like Ryan Coogler as a director. I have Fruitvale Station and Creed 1 and 2. Didn't see the third one. Did not enjoy Black Panther, but I'm willing to give Sinners.
Yeah, I don't think
stop.
you can even really. I don't think the Ryan Coogler factor is a thing in this one. Like, it's just its
Right.
own movie. It's like Demon Knight.
Right.
Like, there's a lot of that in there and
Yeah.
a few other
Yeah.
things. But it goes in a direction you won't expect.
The only thing that scares me about the movie is the duration, 155 minutes. I feel like I'm going to have to do it as a mini series.
It's actually
look.
I'm the first one to complain about
You
long
are,
run
yeah.
times.
Yeah.
And this it does have a segment that I could have done without, but you don't notice it.
And I loved what he didn't like about that. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, well,
interesting.
that's good. I'm definitely going to check it out. No
and like
doubt.
Ben
And
said, like it's
yeah.
a movie where you could take the vampires out of it and replace them with gangsters, and it'd still be just as good.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's the other one that I want to mention is one that I did actually see, and I can't believe it's getting a 4K release, let alone it's getting any kind of release. Until Dawn. It's coming out on 4K Blu-ray and DVD, based on the popular PlayStation game. Have you guys seen this?
I have. We had the interview with them on the show a few
Jesus
months ago.
Christ, like the first 10 minutes, it's no spoiler, but everyone dies in the first 10 minutes, but then they keep coming back.
Yeah, because it's a time loop.
It's a time loop and it's based on a video game. And so I didn't care about the characters the first time they died. I didn't care about the second time,
but
the
it's
third
not
time.
the game story. It's its own story
It's its own thing.
within the game universe.
But it sounds like I could just
Man,
watch
if
the
that's
first
the
10
case,
minutes and
they
go,
should
oh,
have
that was
written a
good, and
better
just
script.
end it there.
It's got some great special
It's a really
effects,
good
don't get me
short.
wrong, but they feel like they're shot really bad. Everything's overly lit.
Most
And when
of
they
the-
show you VHS footage, it is the worst VHS filter you've ever seen. I've seen better VHS filters on TikTok and Instagram.
I'm a lot kinder to this movie than Jarret clearly is. But
I felt we watched all of it, and I was like, I get to watch so few films these days, and I feel like they
get to watch
owe
so
me
few films
money
these
because I was so angry after it. I was like, oh. And when you should have given up on a film like midway through, and then it ends, and you're like, "Fuck it, I should listen."
you know,
to my
look,
instinct."
I did not have the disdain for it that you did. And what I did love about it is most of the gore effects were practical, so that was awesome.
Yeah, there was a lot of practical effects,
Yep.
which is a cool thing. Then the other one I want to mention, another one. Well, this one I actually haven't seen. I am keen to see, but I actually don't think I've heard a kind thing about it. It's Death of a Unicorn with Jenna Ortega and Paul Rudd.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see this, but it was savaged by just about everybody I know.
I missed the screen and didn't get a chance to catch it, so I'll be curious.
I also think it might be next to. Oh, there's another film that came out through A24 this year, but didn't get a local theatrical. Actually, I don't know if it got a theatrical outside of the States, whereas Death of a Unicorn opened pretty much globally simultaneous. And I think it earned something like about 3.2
Well, I think too, it's got a
it's
draw
like
card.
One of the lowest
draw card
earners.
cast is there, but then I think people get into it, and the story is really apparently very weird, and that probably is what
I like to think of it as a remake of Daniel Armstrong's Cabin film.
Oh, Tarnation.
Tarnation.
yeah, that's right.
That's got the evil unicorn in it.
It's got the evil unicorn in it.
He thought of it first.
He was there. Actually, what's it called in the United States? It's got a different title. It's called something like Cursed Cabin or something. They've got a different title for
Death
it.
Cabin.
Yeah.
Death Cabin for Cutie.
Cabin in the Woods 2. Carnation. Moving on, July 30th. So the last few releases coming before the month's out. There is first time to 4K releases from Imprint. There's a ton of them. There's Midnight Cowboy. This is a global first on 4K. So I'm definitely picking this one up. Love this film. Then In the Heat of the Night on 4K. Probably going to sit this one out purely because I already picked up The King of Law before 4K, and it's got They Call Me Mr. Tibbs. And what's the other one called?
The Organization?
The trilogy. Yeah, The Organization.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a great trilogy.
It's already
but
got
weird.
that release. This is just In the Heat of the Night plus a bunch of special features.
It's weird though because the two sequels are nothing like the original. They're blaxploitation movies. They're Dirty Harry with Sidney
100%.
Poitier. Can I just backtrack
100%.
just for a second? I brought Tarnation up. Look at the director of Tarnation as according to Wikipedia, Sheikh Nahan Alam.
Wow, and it's written by Jarret Nizar.
And produced by Syed Mohammed Gilani.
How'd they do that?
That is weird. I'll
That's
screenshot that and put it on the screen for people.
Someone's hacked your Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Someone tell the director. Someone tell Dan Armstrong.
Anyway,
so yes, other first time to 4K titles coming. Well, one more coming out through Imprint, Malcolm X. I think this is obviously how US released through Criterion. I might have had a release in the UK through Icon. So first time locally on 4K, it's a stacked release. Then the last few first time to 4Ks, I think all through AID. Earthquake, which I'll definitely pick up.
100%.
Very excited about that one. Smoking Aces, which I'm keen to revisit, but I've seen it once and I was thoroughly underwhelmed. And I didn't mind it. It was Joe Carnahan, and I like him as a director, and I like the talent in it. But the film itself, I don't know. There was just something.
I didn't mind.
It was like a poor man's Guy Ritchie meets Tarantino.
It was very much that kind of a film, but I remember it being quite successful at the time. But then
really
wasn't
popular.
someone on a certain video essay talking about it being a flop?
Yeah, they did.
It was
Actually,
like-
you're
it was
right.
like,
No, yeah, you're
so much
right.
of a flop,
Yeah.
it got a sequel.
Yeah.
It did. It got a DTV sequel and everything. Yeah, no, that
Vinnie
film was
Jones.
not. That
almost
film
as
was
if
not
that-
a commercial failure. It was actually quite successful. Yeah.
It's almost as if the person doing that video essay has no idea what they're talking about.
Well, that could very well be the truth. So another first time to 4K title, the last first time to 4K title I mentioned is Alfred Hitchcock's Rope coming out.
Lovely.
We're not getting these Hitchcock box sets so much anymore locally. Instead, they're just doing the individual releases of the title. Look, I'm not angry about it. If they're cheap enough, I think that's fine.
Although I think, Imprint
August-
just announced,
yeah.
and funnily enough, just announced a
bunch
early
of them.
Hitchcock box set.
No, there's three Hitchcock box sets coming. The early Hitchcock,
Oh, no,
the
the
Hitchcock
Imprint
9,
ones?
and
Oh my
then
God,
Lady
yes.
Vanishes in 39 Steps.
And 39 Steps,
I
the
know,
later
it's
ones.
so good.
Yeah.
And the Alfred Hitchcock, is it Alfred Hitchcock Hour?
Yes,
Oh, and the
that
TV,
too.
yeah, the
I think
TV
it's- Is it the complete series or just season one?
Don't know. We're about to get Hitchcock crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, because then we've got Alfred Hitchcock's Presents still to come. Oh my God, it's ridiculous.
Rope
I know,
is a
I was
great
so
one.
excited. So excited when I saw that announcement. I was like,
And then,
oh my God. Yeah.
will you guys be buying the 4K of Hitchcock, the film, about the making of Psycho?
Will not be purchasing that. I did have it briefly on Blu-ray. I think I received a sample of it, and I kept it because, and then,
You
I
never know.
decided.
It was an
I'm
odd
gonna
movie.
revisit
It was an odd
that.
movie.
Yeah, it was a really
Wasn't
odd
there
movie.
a Hitchcock biopic with Toby Jones playing Hitchcock as well?
Oh, that would
That
be
was it,
interesting.
wasn't it? Oh no, was it? Oh no, it was Anthony Hopkins, wasn't it?
Yeah, but in that one.
In that one, yeah.
In that one, but no, you're right. There is another one.
Let's have a look
with
here.
Toby Jones.
Is it called The Fat Pervert? Because that's what
Infamous.
Hitchcock was all
No, it
about.
wasn't Infamous. What was it?
Oh, look at this fat pervert.
It was called The Girl.
The girl. Oh,
Yeah, I
yeah,
didn't
right.
see it, but
I
I
didn't
do
realize that was a
remember,
Hitchcock.
yeah.
Have a look at that
thing.
picture.
Yeah.
He was perfect. It was great.
Boom, it's on the screen. You can have a look for yourself.
I tell you what,
There you go, guys.
he turns up in a couple of the last episodes of Mobland, the TV series, and he is fucking great.
Excellent.
Oh, I love Toby. He's
Yeah.
just such a versatile actor. Like he's hilarious when he does comedy, like Detectorist. Like he's just got a really good draw.
What the fuck was he doing in Indiana Jones? Come on.
Well,
What, Dial of Destiny?
Yeah.
who else
I've
are they
not
going
seen it. Still
What's
sat
the
that
name's
one
dead,
out.
so he needs to have some kind of gorpy sidekick.
I'm probably not going to watch it until there's suddenly it's been pulled from Disney Plus for who knows what reason or whatever. And then I've had Disney Plus for however many years, and I'm forced to illegally download it because then I'm like, what is it about the film that I've missed?
It took me, 7 attempts to watch it before I actually enjoyed it. So
Far out. You gave that film so many chances.
yeah, it's the modern In Dreams, isn't it?
Yeah.
I still haven't gotten around to liking that one, but I watch it nearly every year.
Oh, last time I watched it, I actually enjoyed it enough to contemplate buying the
Oh my
Blu-ray, the
God,
Vision Blu-ray. Yeah, no, I went back and did like a Neil Jordan binge, and I think it's because, I watched everything I'd never seen before, and then I went back to the ones that I didn't love so much, and yeah, I watched In Dreams, and I was like, it's almost there. It's almost a great film.
Well, because it's got a
but
great
it's just
look
a very
about it.
average movie.
The design of it's fantastic.
Oh, it's beautiful
Yeah.
to look at. But yeah, Downey, Jesus Christ. Talk about miscasting on that part of Robert Downey and just, yeah, the plot twist is just. But anyway, it is what it is. But no, I did actually think about recently picking it up in that JB buy one because I'm like, if I buy one that I'm happy with, I'm going to get In Dreams on Blu-ray as a bonus. But I didn't do it. So, oh well. I know it'll go on sale one day and I'll pick that sucker up for under $10 and I won't feel ashamed at all. Yes. Anyway, gentlemen, that's it for me for this month. It's a chockers July, and look, there's plenty of releases coming out that I did mention. One I'll probably just throw in there as a footnote, and sadly it's only coming out on DVD, but it's Matthew Holmes' Fear Below.
Yep.
It's coming out through Studio Canal, so really disappointing that it's
Two
only
of the
getting a
best
DVD
shark
release.
movies in recent times, both Aussie. That's fantastic. Dangerous Animals being the other one.
Yes. I thought you were talking about The Reef with Umbrella's release coming up in October. It's got a fantastic interview on there that some guy shot. But yes, no, Dangerous Animals. I'm dying to see Dangerous Animals, but I'm going to have to wait for it to come to the home screen, unfortunately, yeah. I don't get out of the house much these days. It's rarely get to the cinema.
Luckily, these days you don't have to wait that long.
Yeah.
It's
No,
out pretty
this
quick.
is true. This is true. Seemingly, though, the good ones are the ones you always have to wait a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. All right, guys. So until next month.
Stay
Stay
physical.
physical. We fucking really blew that.
Came out of nowhere.
What the hell was he doing?
It's Terrific TV Tuesday, the only Tuesday TV segment that drops on a Monday.
Oh, I missed you. I missed you, Terrific TV Tuesday. Because you're the only Terrific TV Tuesday segment that drops on a Monday.
It's a special thing.
It's a special
It's
thing.
very special. Only here.
And once again, I have to thank Mr. Matt O'Neill for my recommendation this week.
Matt, you're like a wealth of...
He's my TV go-to guy.
Yes.
He just dropped me a text
Have we doubled up again?
last Tuesday. Well, yeah, I'll be interested. He dropped me a text message last week and said, "Oh, have you seen this? Video Nasty,
No, haven't watched
the
it.
TV series Video Nasty." And I was like, "No, I haven't. What is it about?" And he told me, and I was like, "Fucking oath, I've got to see this." And he goes, "It's actually directed by your old mate Christopher Smith, and produced by Julie Baines, who produced Christopher Smith's first film, Creep, and also produced now I've gone blank. Not Severance, and Triangle.
And Triangle.
Creep and Triangle.
Did he do Black Death?
He directed. It's just Julie Baines that's
yeah,
what she did. But
yeah.
Christopher Smith also did Triangle and
Yeah.
Black Death.
Yeah.
All four of which I worked on for Umbrella and released in special editions. And I enjoyed this show so much, and this is not something I've ever done before, but I actually emailed him and Julie, and I said, hey, I just, out of the blue, I just wanted to send you a nice note to say I fucking love the show.
Yeah.
It is great. So basically the premise is it's set in Ireland, well, kind of set in Ireland. 3 teenagers, it's in the 80s, during the video nasty era. So all these cassette tapes have been banned, and these 3 teenagers set out on a quest to complete the video nasty collection, because if you've got the entire collection, you can sell it for a pretty penny, and they're from like working class families. And on the down low, they have used their high school years formal like end of year party money to fund buying this collection.
Yep.
Of all the video nasties, and they're the legit films. They're not like made up for the movie or anything like that. They're the legit films, and they actually do cut into the show. They do show a lot of the clips of the video nasties.
Cool.
In there.
This sounds amazing, by the way.
So they set out to. So they basically have to travel to England. They take the ferry over to England to get the last film that they're missing, and of course, while they're out there getting it, there's a murder, and because they're into the video nasties, they are blamed. And so it's 6 episodes. It was just fucking great.
I'm down. I'm going to watch it. I love that there's this sort of wave of retro kind of shows. Like I think it started with Stranger Things, but we had that Hysteria as well.
Yeah.
This sounds better than
I enjoyed this more than I enjoyed Hysteria.
Yeah.
It does, like, it has elements of other things. Like there's a bit of Wicker Man in there. There's
cool.
bit of
cool. It's a horror buff.
Kind of other there's pick the references, and Christopher Smith is a total horror nerd.
Yeah.
He's really into it, and hopefully we get a second season.
That'd be cool.
And apparently they shot it all. They shot it all in England, all of the Ireland stuff and everything. They did on the down low. They did it apparently on a very low budget. But I couldn't tell from looking at it that it was low budget. I thoroughly enjoyed every bit of it. There's, I did see on the internet there's some mixed reviews, but the stuff people were complaining about, I was like, I didn't even pay attention to that.
Get over it.
So I'd be interested to see if you pick up on what they were complaining about when you watch it. But
I'll report back.
It's all on you. I think you have to buy each episode on Apple TV.
The way my brain is wired with these sort of shows, when there are those nitpicky things, I gloss over them. So like when I'm watching it, I don't give a fuck. So I don't even retain the fact that they were.
It's just like it was one of those things where I was like, oh, I suppose, but it's not what I was thinking about while watching it.
So just quickly speaking of horror, I want to just recommend really quickly, it's not my official one, but Netflix have a new 55-minute documentary from the Trainwreck series. They did that Trainwreck, the whatever that festival was, the Fire Festival.
Fire, yeah.
Was that it? No, it was the one that had all the riots and anyway, they've got a follow-up, and it's called Trainwreck Poop Cruise.
Right.
And this is all about that cruise ship that had a fire breakout down below, fucked all the wiring, they lost power, they were just floating idly in the Gulf of Mexico. And
you mean the Gulf of America?
At the time, it was Mexico. And if that's not bad enough that the air conditioner's gone and all that, but the toilets also went. And so there was nowhere to shit. And of course, being stranded, even with the tugboat, it's going to take a week to get back to shore. And so the whole ship was just shit and piss, because it tilted with the tugboats and it all just spilt into the corridors. And there's footage from people in the moment with their phones, and it is gnarly.
You would think that there'd be a way around this.
No, the initial way around it was, if you need to piss in the shower, they can go down the drain. The toilets required electricity to flush, so they couldn't be used. And for shit, they provided everybody with plastic red biohazard bags, and you had to shit into a bag and then chuck it into the bin.
Isn't there a thing with toilets though? Don't you just pour water into them and
not a cruise ship? No,
not on a cruise
ship. It's all powered by suction and like an aeroplane toilet.
Right.
It's hydraulic and
sucked out. They're not just normal S-bends.
No, you can't in a cruise ship. Like it's all contained and has to go to a very specific place.
So anyway. Because otherwise, how's Joe Dirt going to find it and think it's a?
Anyway, if you just out of pure fascination watch that, it's hilarious too. It's treated very amusing. Anyway. So what I want to talk about is a new Netflix series, and it's an Aussie one. People have been talking about it a fair bit, called Survivors, or The Survivors. It's a murder mystery. It's a really good one. It's a 6-parter, which is always appreciated. And it is based on the novel by Jane Harper. So she's the one that wrote The Dry and the sequel to The Dry and a few other things. And when I'm watching this, I'm thinking to myself, I want to read her books because these are well fleshed out and well considered murder mysteries. Like there's layers and the revelations are always quite good and quite unexpected. So anyway, this one is all about small town that's rocked by the death of 2 boys at sea 15 years ago. Right? And they died on a boat trying to rescue another boy. And that other boy has left town and he comes back 15 years later for a reason. And the town is, they turn on him because he's the one that caused the death of these other 2. But there's more to their deaths and there's more to his story.
Books always seem to revolve around someone coming back to town.
Yeah, they do. And secrets that they're walking back
that they
into.
reveal because they shaking things up by coming back.
But the twists and the turns are very good. The cast is actually fantastic. So you got Robin Malcolm, she's fantastic in this, but Damien Garvey, who, if you don't know his name, you'll know his face. He's in so many Aussie things, and he plays a guy with a bit of dementia, which means he holds a lot of secrets, but you can't get them out.
Right.
You got to wait for that moment and try to trap him into giving it. That's a very clever thing. Don Hanley, he's in everything back in the 2000s. Martin Sachs is fantastic, really, really good.
I think he's fat now.
Not really, no.
Oh, that's a shame.
He plays a real bastard in this. He plays a real bastard.
Yeah,
he's the father of one of the boys that died, and he's not mucking around.
He's not the sergeant from Mount
say,
Thomas anymore.
I should also say that when this guy comes back to town 15 years later, another death happens, and it may be connected.
Right.
Yeah, and the way it connects is quite clever. You know, it's not just a coincidence or anything like that. It's,
right.
Yeah. Anyway, the survivors, everyone in my sort of Facebook community have been going on about how good this is.
And it's on Netflix.
It is. I jumped in because of that and didn't disappoint.
Excellent.
1999, after 28 years, the Australian television program Hey Hey It's Saturday came to an end. It was the end of an era and the end of blackface down under. Or was it?
Oh, Glenn, 1999. This was my year. This was such a difficult year. I've actually done the list of films thing.
Yep.
Because it was like, there are so many here. Even my picks for this year, there's double what there normally is because it's just so many bangers.
I'm just wondering if I've had time to. Yeah, I've had a guess of some of yours, but
all right,
go through the top 10.
So the top 10, starting at number 10, Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me. This is the sequel to Austin Powers.
Didn't disappoint either. It was a good sequel.
No, just as good as the first, I would argue.
Yep.
American Beauty, which great. The World Is Not Enough, the James Bond film. Which one of the Pierce Brosnan ones? Notting Hill, arguably one of the modern era's great romantic comedies.
Absolutely.
The Mummy. Fuck, I love The Mummy.
I do too, but when I was writing this list down, in my mind, I thought The Mummy was much earlier.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That's The Jungle Book. Or Deep Rising was before this. Yeah. I didn't realize Deep Rising came. I thought he got to make Deep Rising because The Mummy was so successful.
Yeah,
but
no, the other way around, I think, yeah.
Tarzan, which I'm assuming is the Disney cartoon, not the Casper Van Dien TV series that they made a movie out of when they released it here in Australia because they thought no one would give a shit about the TV series. The Matrix. The Matrix is only number 4.
I was going to say, it's not as high up on the list as I thought it would be.
But when you see what the next 4 films are.
Yeah.
So Toy Story 2.
Yep.
The Sixth Sense.
Uh-huh.
And Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Arguably the worst film of the year is in the number 1 period. But
what's really frustrating for our generation is that there's a generation below us that grew up with the episodes 1, 2, and 3 and think they're like masterpieces.
Yeah.
Someone educate them.
But that's it's the proof is in the pudding with this, is that it doesn't actually matter if it's a good film or not. If you want to see it, you'll go and see it and to find out it's a bad film.
Yeah. Exactly right. That's always been my argument is why did that make so much money? Because we all wanted to see it.
Yeah.
And then we decided we hated it.
Yeah.
But I mean, The Sixth Sense does surprise me because that's a very sort of low budget film compared to a lot. And
yeah, but look, it's a
phenomenon.
Yeah. Like it was a twist that
It brought back the twist. Like,
Yeah.
I think the only other one I can think of at that time would have been bloody Seven and Usual Suspects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Shamalama Ding Dong has been chasing that high ever since.
Man, yeah, but he kind of surprised me because I think Unbreakable, the next film he did, is his best one, and then after that, it's where it all just
Falls down.
Yeah. Anyway, can we go through a horror list just quickly? I've got some down here just to appease a certain person, please. All right, let's
Okay, sure.
Just quickly get through some horror ones. So you had Audition, Bats, Blair Witch Project, Candyman 3, Children of the Corn 666, End of Days, From Dusk to Dawn 2, The Haunting, House on Haunted Hill, Idle Hands, Lake Placid, The Ninth Gate, The Rage, Carrie 2, Ravenous, Resurrection, Sleepy Hollow, Stigmata, Terra Firma, Stir of Echoes, Ring 2, Warlock 3, Wishmaster 2. We always get this one message at the end of, whenever we've dropped an episode. Oh, you forgot this, you forgot that. hopefully we've covered enough.
Yeah. But there's also...
Yes.
There's such a ton of bangers.
Yep.
Varsity Blues.
Uh-huh.
American Pie. Bowfinger.
Yep.
She's All That.
Yep.
Go. You must have said the Blair Witch Project in
Yes,
that. Detroit Rock City. Blast from the Past. Payback. Never Been Kissed. Eyes Wide Shut. Teaching Mrs. Tingle. Election. Lake Placid. Which you said. The 13th Warrior. John McTiernan. October Sky. Existence. David Cronenberg. Drop Dead Gorgeous. Office Space.
Mystery Alaska.
Mystery Alaska. Entrapment. The Haunting. I mean, I suppose you said
Three
all
Kings.
of those. Inspector Gadget. 8mm. Cruel Intentions. Deep Blue Sea. Double Jeopardy. Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels came out this year.
A Straight Story.
Iron Giant. Mystery Men.
Did you say Fight Club?
I didn't say Fight Club. 10 Things I Hate About You. The Insider won the fucking Oscar or whatever it is. Magnolia. Galaxy Quest came out this year.
I know.
Talented Mr. Ripley. Girl Interrupted. Dogma. Freaking hell. Cider House Rules. Any Given Sunday. Green Mile. Man on the Moon. Bone Collector. Being John Malkovich came out this year. Random Hearts. Superstar.
Hang on.
The Limey. Three Kings. Yeah.
Once again, like just completely fucking over my whole mantra that we're getting close to the drop off.
The end of it, yeah, where it all goes to shit.
Things are going to suck soon. We're not there yet.
No.
All right. So just quickly, some Aussie ones. We've got Two Hands, The Crack, Esquivel Kings, Holy Smoke in a Savage Land, another Bill Bennett one.
My Mother Frank.
My Mother Frank, Paperback Hero, Pearls Before Swine, Siam Sunset, Fluff Fruit, Strange Planet.
It's a romance novel. It's my favourite part of Paperback Hero. Claudia Carvan and Hugh Jackman. This is kind of before Hugh Jackman really broke.
Two Hugh Jackman in that list because he's in Esquivel.
In Esquivel Kings as well, that's right.
Yeah. All right, so there we go. We've established it's a fucking amazing year of releases.
Yeah.
Let's try and guess each other's favourites.
So you go. You guess mine.
Okay. Well, I'm going to definitely put Sleepy Hollow on your list.
Yes.
I'm going to put Mumford on your list.
Yes.
I'm going to put Bowfinger on your list.
No.
Okay. What about Dick?
No, although that is a fucking great movie.
And lastly, The Limey.
No.
Okay. Well, they're my guesses.
All right, my guess is for you,
Okay.
and then we can go
Are
through
these
our actual
joke
ones.
guesses, or are you going to guess properly?
No, I think they're proper.
Okay.
I don't know. Election.
No.
Summer of Sam.
Election should have been on your list. I'm sorry.
No, but it wouldn't have been. No, it's
Okay.
not. Summer of Sam.
No, you're really close, though. That almost went on my list.
Mystery Alaska.
No.
Wow.
No. I do love it.
I know you love that film.
I love it a lot.
Bringing Out the Dead.
Yep.
And RKO 281.
No, I didn't care for that too much.
Oh, you didn't like that one? I thought you
I
liked
liked it, but I wouldn't put it on the list. So I've got Existence.
Right.
I've got Limbo. Bringing Out the Dead.
Limbo is a cracker.
Limbo's amazing. That really... that spoke volumes to me when I watched it for the first time, and I went back over and over and over again.
Yeah. And
I don't know why, yeah.
He came out, John Sayles came out and did a Q&A for it, and somebody asked him about the ending, and they're like, oh, so what happens at the end? He's like, I don't know. I didn't write it. So
No, I haven't written an ending.
There is it, yeah. And so then, so you kind of...
Well, the answer is a plane. Like, a plane happened at the end.
A plane comes,
Yeah.
but who's on the plane?
Yeah.
Don't know.
Don't know. Didn't think that far ahead.
That's
the beautiful thing
fantastic
about
one.
that film. It just you decide the ending.
Yeah.
And the other one I had was Man on the Moon.
Yeah, I thought about that one might have been on your list, but I was like, nah, surely Mystery Alaska will be the one.
Yeah,
And Election, I thought, but maybe that's Jarrett's list.
Yeah, Election certainly would not have made mine. I love it. But Man on the Moon is a movie that I thrashed. I watched it over and over, and I've watched it recently. I think it's a perfect film. Like, I can't fault it. It hits every beat. It's just wonderful. And that documentary they did, like Jim and Andy, all about Jim Carrey losing himself to the character. Just phenomenal.
Who wants to go see Andy Kaufman? Anyone got a flashlight and a shovel? So good. So for me, my list is Payback, Office Space. It's long. Ravenous, Drop Dead Gorgeous.
Ravenous.
He's licking me. The best.
Funniest thing about that is I can't get enough of it, but two, I've gone back and watched that, and it's he's licking me. Yeah.
It's not that big a deal. I made it up in my head.
It's great.
Drop Dead Gorgeous, which I think is one of the most underrated, along with Dick, two of the biggest underrated comedies of that year.
Although I think when Drop Dead Gorgeous came along, it was in the same era of these Christopher Guest mockumentaries that were coming. And I felt like it was... I was so precious about my Christopher Guest movies that I was probably too snobbish and didn't gravitate towards
Whereas
that.
I would rate these over all those Christopher Guest ones.
Kirstie Alley in it is awesome.
And Alison Janney is fucking hilarious.
It's a great movie, don't get me wrong. Like, in hindsight, I love it.
Denise Richards, everyone is great in it. It is pitch perfect. And it's the first time I ever heard that gag. Some people look at a glass and they say that this one's half full. Other people will look at it and say it's half empty. Me, I look at it and go, where the fuck's my waiter? It's so good. So also had Bing, John Malkovich, Mumford, Sleepy Hollow, Magnolia.
Mumford's a really underrated film.
Fucking, I'm very underseen. I don't think it's underrated. I just think it's underseen.
Yeah, underseen. Good point.
And Deuce Bigelow, Mel Gigolo.
There is something wrong with my big fish.
I'm going to need that from the
caller
tank.
It's not a man, is it? I don't know. I have been fooled before.
Fuck Eddie Griffin. But even the whole I'm a gigolo. You a jiggle what? I'm gonna kill my guidance counselor.
I'm upstairs. Cakes and pies.
And very similar. Oh, and that's the other thing with Drop Dead Gorgeous is Will Sasso playing the retarded brother. It's fucking hilarious.
When you could. Yeah.
But
there are not many movies more quotable than Deuce Bigelow. Amy Poehler is amazing in it.
She's great. She's with Tourette's.
Shithole.
But the funny thing is, like, we were talking about Vegas Vacation last week and the Not Quite Right Casino.
Yeah.
He's the not quite right male gigolo.
When he's swinging upside down on the pole.
Yeah.
Which leads to all the catastrophes.
It takes me also back to Boyfriend from Hell with Cheech Marin, where the sister is... Emma Sam's sister is really attracted to him, but she wants him to wear a saddle and ride him like a pony.
Man. And then they had, obviously, Deuce Bigelow, European Gigolo, which was a pretty terrible movie on all accounts.
Norm Macdonald doing a Scottish accent.
Except for Norm Macdonald. And you got a character with a dick for a nose. Great. Class.
The other not quite right gigolos.
Classic. In the convention. And then Alex Dimitriadis is one of them.
He's one of them, yeah. So, yeah, what a fucking great year 1999 was.
Yep. Let's check out what the Boneheads had.
We're back!
Welcome to Bonehead Weekly Fun Size. James, what year are we doing?
1999, where there was once a class of.
That's true. Thank you for letting us know.
It was not made in 1999,
I did not know that.
Class of 1999, not made.
I had a hard time going between two of these, but I had to pick because one of my dreams was always to make my own version of Legend of Sleepy Hollow. But I actually think Tim Burton nailed it.
Oh, God, yeah. Perfect.
I think it's perfect because there's not much of a story. And what they do is build out a really good story with an absolute fantastic cast. It's gothic, it's Hammer, it has blood. And Johnny Depp's perfect in it.
Yeah.
Christopher, all those great British character actors are in it. I don't have a stone to throat with that movie.
The only one thing that bothers me in that movie, and again, I think it's perfect, is the one who played the bully. I didn't like him.
Yeah, nobody likes Casper Van Dien, but I get why they cast him in the role and they killed him. Spoiler. Then, Mike, can I do a real quick honorable mention?
Yeah. Well, why don't you wait till we figure out what we pick?
I've got an honorable mention too, but me? Are we doing me? What are we doing?
Yes, it's me and you.
You know what? I'm going to go Ninth Gate. I watched
Why?
it long ago. I like Roman Polanski's Ninth Gate.
Oh my God, he's going to talk about it.
No, I've already told him.
My hand. That was his hand.
Nobody cares anymore. I get it. No, Ninth Gate. I watched it again, and it's uneven. It's odd, but I like it because of its oddness. People don't give. I mean, it's a haunted bookstore. It's a Necronomicon. It's
Necronomicon.
That too. I'm talking about the time.
I got my lights on.
Hold on. I'm talking about the timepiece, the Necronomicon. Way to keep time of evil. It keeps the time of evil. We need to write that. Cut this. Cut this.
Australian sons of bitches. Don't use it.
Anyway, no. It's again Johnny Depp. It's a weird, and it's a 180 from how he plays Ichabod Crane.
Ichabod
He's a jerk, but he's a jerk that finds rare books and gets hired to find this book that was supposedly written by the devil.
Satan. Speaking of which, Chad.
Guys, I'm surprised James didn't pick this one because I had a backup for it. It is my favorite Mel Gibson film, Payback.
That's good.
I really,
both versions of it are good, actually.
Yeah, oddly enough,
not Lethal Weapon.
I really love Payback. I love Lethal Weapon, but Payback's my favorite.
Payback has so many other great actors in it that he bounces on.
And it starts out like you hate this guy. He is such a prick, but then you realize why he's doing all that. And the problem is he's still a prick. And I love how Mel Gibson plays it. I just love every minute of that movie. Now, they did release a director's cut a few years ago. I will freely admit I prefer the theatrical version.
Theatrical's more fun. The director's cut is darker.
Yes. And the director's cut doesn't have Chris Christopherson playing his character that much. And that's one of the things that makes that movie. So I had to pick 1999's Payback.
Honorable mention, Return The House on Haunted Hill. It's an absolutely superior film to the original. I know.
I'm going to go with one that did get a very limited theatrical release, but has a cult following now. And Shepherds We Shall Be, For Thee and My Lord For Thee, Boondock Saints.
God, if you ever get a chance for a drink, I'll tell you all about hanging out with him during his panel.
Galaxy Quest.
Oh, man, that's another. 1999 was good.
It's like Bonehead Weekly did a whole series about the movies.
Somebody would do a series on that, and other people should tune in and watch it.
This has been Bonehead Weekly.
Fun size.
You gonna do the?
Not until the last segment.
Okay.
This is
the explosion one. It's movie battles. So this is an interesting one. This is your choice. I think I can guess why.
I thought this was your choice. I certainly didn't pick these.
I thought just the Alzheimer's setting in if I chose it.
Well, I think it's a great selection.
I mean, it's a good one. And to be honest, I'm glad that it's there because up until this point, I had not actually seen Sugar and Spice, despite owning it.
Neither had I.
I'd put it off, and I watched it, and I was pleasantly surprised.
Me too. So I came into this thinking, because it's Bring It On, Sugar and Spice, and I'm thinking Bring It On all the way, which probably is still your choice, right?
Yeah.
But I watched Sugar and Spice and loved everything about it, and that is now my preferred go-to.
Yeah, see, I mean, I found it they're a bit too stupid.
They are. It is
for me to really like it.
It's a dumb movie, don't get me wrong, but I don't know what it felt like Election in many ways. It kind of had almost like a satirical kind of undertone to it. And James Marsden, oh my God, he was fantastic. Yeah. And he kind of disappears halfway through the movie, but God, he's good.
Could you imagine the world would grind to a halt if dads didn't get horny? Such a weird line.
So what's the premise of that one?
So basically, Marley Shelton and James Marsden cannot. She's the head cheerleader. He's the quarterback. They cannot keep their hands off each other, and of course, he knocks her up.
Yeah. Obviously high school.
High school. Yeah. And the thing that's so weird is both parents are super proud of their kids.
Yeah.
And they're going to prom together, and the parents couldn't be happier, and they tell them that we're going to get married. And the parents are overjoyed, and then they say, but not until we have the baby. And so then the parents freak out and kick them out of the house. why wouldn't you just get married before you have the baby? And it is one of the weird.
It's a glaring hole in the story.
In the kind of story, but
it gets you to the next
point. But I digress. So basically, he's forced to get a job. He works at some kind of a taco stand, and then he gets a job at a Blockbuster.
That's hilarious.
Which is hilarious. And she decides that in order to be able to afford everything that they need for the baby, she's going to have to rob a bank.
Yeah.
But she decides that, robbing a bank, everyone who robs a bank is an idiot because they always get caught. So what they're going to do is just watch a bunch of movies.
And they watch some classics. Reservoir Dogs being one of them.
Yeah, Dog Day Afternoon. And he's just like, you see his whole ear coming off. And figure out what to do. And then, of course, in the end, I don't think they follow any of the rules of any of those.
Oh, no.
Those things, but they're just so. So basically, it's them robbing a bank, and I
do love they've all got the same. They've all got the same mask, right? It's like a China doll kind of mask thing.
Yeah.
And then the last one rocks up with Point Break.
Yeah.
Nixon mask. That is fantastic. And for some reason, like how she manages to emote expression through the mask, but she does.
She does. Yeah.
Big time. I just love this film. I thought it was quite hilarious.
It's great, and it's an all-star cast. So it's Marla Sokolov who is basically the nemesis.
Yeah.
She's not one of the cheerleaders, but Marley Shelton in her prime, Melissa George also in her prime,
Yep.
Mina Savari, Rachel Blanchard, who was Cher in the Clueless TV series, James Marsden, Alexandra Holden, and Sean Young pops up as
I forgot about
Mina
that.
Savari's mum.
Almost a Finkel and Einhorn kind of scenario.
Yeah,
really.
I love that bit where she's in prison, and so Mina Savari goes. So the backstory of her character is that while she was giving birth to Mina Savari, her husband was in the bed next to her while she's in labour, banging a nurse. So she pulls out a gun, which she obviously took with her to the birthing room, and kills him, and so is been in prison for her daughter's entire life.
Yeah.
And her grandparents, to the point, so she's been raised by her grandparents. Her grandparents sent her a picture of a different girl just in case she broke out and decided to try and track her down. But she goes to visit her mum in prison to get tips on on how to rob a bank. And she's like, she introduces her to a friend of hers, and Mina Savari freaks out because she thinks, oh, great, now my mum's a lesbian. On top of all this other shit I have to deal with, you're a lesbian? And she's like, no, she's not my bitch. She's just an expert at breaking into banks.
Well, that's the other thing. It's a movie of like the late 90s, early 2000s when insults like fag, dyke, and retard are just norm. Like, that's just the norm and said so blasé and casual. Funny for our generation. I don't think the new generation would appreciate it.
I think that even there's one line where doesn't Marla Sokolov say, like, aren't all Brits gay? Even their cigarettes are called fags.
And you've even got, like, at the very start, you've got a teacher that's talking about, like, uncles that molest and all that kind of stuff.
If your uncle touches you inappropriately, tell someone.
And what a banging soundtrack.
It much better than Bring It On.
Yeah.
The soundtrack is where it's superior, but it doesn't have the song that they sing in Bring It On.
Well, I mean, you're welcome to touch on Bring It On. I don't think we need to too much because most people
I feel like everyone saw it. Like this, I saw it theatrically.
Yeah.
I saw Bring It On theatrically, and I fucking loved every second of it.
And I just think, though, but for like this purpose of even for a short on TikTok, just to promote Sugar and Spice a little bit and sort of maybe
get some more people seeing it. But look, Bring It On opens with that musical number, and that set the tone. And it was like, holy shit, this is the best movie ever made. And they kind of, there's a little, because Bring It On's made in 2000, Sugar and Spice is 2001, but there is a very little kind of nod in Sugar and Spice to Bring It On when they're doing the cheers and Marla Sokolov is watching and she's like, this breaks, was it the National Cheer Guideline Association rules about doing things, which is a thing in Bring It On. But
must say, not much cheerleading in Sugar and Spice.
No. There's, only one, and it's...
Yeah, they are cheerleaders, but it's all about the robbery.
It's not like... And in Bring It On, look, they're definitely more like gymnasts than they are like in Sugar and Spice. Their cheer is much more basic.
Yeah. And look, Bring It On has Bring It On 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, however many sequels.
There are no sequels to Sugar and Spice. In fact, the director, Francine McDougall, went on to direct nothing. No feature films after this. She's done a bunch of shorts, but apparently she's huge, does a lot of ads and stuff like that, which I've heard from... I remember overhearing a conversation of the guy who directed Wog Boy, but not Gracie.
Yeah.
Someone else, someone else. But he was like saying that directing ads is the best job in the world because as the director, you don't really have to do anything. Like the advertising executive people, they make all the decisions. They produce the whole thing. You just deal with the actors on the day.
Yeah.
You get paid a fuckload and you just go home.
Yeah, that sounds great.
It was just great.
But funny though, Sugar and Spice, a bit, speaking what we did with Limbo with the ending, I felt like Sugar and Spice doesn't really have much of an ending. It sort of just stops. It's almost like they just gave up in the end. Which I kind of like because the credits start. I looked at my wife and went, oh, okay. That's it. Okay, excellent. Well, that was fun.
Yeah, it just happened. But yeah, look, I look pleasantly surprised by Sugar and Spice. But look, still bring it on for me.
Whoever chose this battle.
Well done. Well done, sir.
Yeah.
Rapid fire recommendations. Now, I've got a bunch, but I'm not going to talk about them a lot. But why don't you go first? Yeah.
All right. So there's a 2022 Netflix film called I Came By. And this was an absolute revelation.
You came by who?
This Hugh Bonneville playing against type. Plays a serial killer in this. And
interesting.
A fantastic serial killer, I might add. So
a nice, polite serial killer, I hope.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it also stars George McKay, who was the lead in 1917, that war film. Purcell Ascot and Kelly MacDonald, who we spoke about the other week.
Oh, I love Kelly MacDonald.
She's fantastic in this.
Kelly MacDonald is the modern era's... her name's just flown right out of my head now. I just had it. Jenny Agata.
Yeah.
She's Jenny Agata of today, where you just, every time I hear her name, I just...
Last week I watched Trainspotting 1 and 2 just because in that Danny Boyle mode. She's great in both of them. Like, even though she's in part 2 for a little bit. But anyway, so
she's not even in part 1 that much, really.
No, not really. But she's God.
But it's a memorable scene. Memorable moment.
Is it what? Anyhow, so I Came By. The premise of this has two activists that their whole MO is they break into rich people's houses and then spray paint I Came By on their walls. Right. And it gets a lot of attention. It's a bit of like a Banksy kind of thing.
Like a bling ring type deal.
Yeah, 100%. So that's the general premise. But then one of them has to sort of stop doing it because he's having a baby with his wife and he can't afford to get in trouble. But the other one just continues, right? Breaks into this very high-ranking professor's house, who is Hugh Bonneville, and soon learns that it's a fortified house and he can't get out and he's trapped and discovers a whole lot of sinister serial killing stuff happening down below in the basement.
Oh.
And Hugh Bonneville, very much like Hugh Grant in Heretic, it's that kind of feel.
Right.
Hugh Bonneville starts playing mind games and Kelly MacDonald is the mother and she knows what's going on because she sort of tracked his movements.
The mother of the guy breaking in or the mother of...
Mother of the one trapped. Yeah, the graffiti artist that gets trapped in the house. And so she knows what's happening and the police don't believe her because every time they go, he's on best behaviour, there's nothing to see here, all that kind of stuff. And then the second the cops go, he turns on her and she then tries to get into the house to try and find her son and it turns into this whole cat and mouse thing. But it goes in a direction I certainly was not expecting and I don't think you would either. Like, it is just a real fantastic sting in the tail kind of movie.
It sounds a bit like, do you remember that movie Blackmail?
Vaguely.
With Bokeem Woodbine.
Oh, yeah, of course I do, yeah.
And he kind of breaks into and it's that English guy he's Lord John Marbury from in The West Wing, but he's in a bunch of stuff, but he's like the polite British gent who also happens to be a kind of a serial killer.
But I tell you what, Hugh Bonneville, he can turn it like just in the snap of a finger, he can go from that, Downton Abbey guy, Notting Hill guy, because he plays that as the professor to this really sadistic serial killer, and it's a joy to watch. So I Came By.
Amazing.
Now,
I'm going to have to check it out.
Tell me about your bunch.
Well, look, because I like to watch movies made from 1999, and I managed to, for some reason, I watched a lot of films this week, which is shocking for me. But I did watch, so I basically used this as an excuse to catch up on, I caught up on 2 movies I hadn't seen before, and I watched 2 movies again.
Okay.
So the two movies I'd never seen before was Love for the Game,
Oh, yeah,
which
Sam
was
Raimi.
kind of Sam Raimi's return. Kevin Costner, Kelly Preston, John C.
Really
Reilly,
like
Jenna
that movie.
Malone. And it's basically about a baseball player kind of at the end of his career, Kevin Costner, who pitches a perfect game. Thick as Thieves was the other one that I watched with Alec Baldwin.
Oh, yeah.
Directed by Scott Sanders, who did Black Dynamite. So it's Alec Baldwin, Rebecca De Mornay, and they never share a scene together, I don't think, which is kind of disappointing. Michael J. White, Andre Brower, Julia Sweeney pops up in this. And basically, Alec Baldwin plays a thief he's a thief for I think the Detroit mob.
Yep.
And...
or Chicago.
Or
Chicago.
No.
Is it Detroit? Detroit, yeah.
He gets loaned out to, I think, the LA mob to pull a job.
Well, it says here, thief is betrayed in Detroit, returns to Chicago.
Oh, okay. So he's in the Chicago mob and he gets loaned to Detroit.
Yeah, right.
To pull a job.
Gotcha.
And, of course, they betray him and try and take him out, which they fail at. So then he gets his team, comes back to fuck them.
Okay, cool.
Pretty interesting film. There's a lot of stuff with his dog that is hilarious.
No Mel Gibson?
No Mel Gibson stuff. But yeah, an interesting little film. I remember a customer at the video store telling me how good it was.
Felt like it was a direct-to-video thing. Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Quite enjoyable. The other two movies, I rewatched 13th Warrior because John McTiernan, I fucking love it. But watching it again, I realized that they don't. So basically, it's 13 Vikings travel to help like a small Viking town against a band of what they believe are supernatural invaders.
Yeah. I remember it. Yeah.
And for me, it's like Kingdom of Heaven. If the band that he's hanging out with right at the start of the film with Liam Neeson don't get killed at the start of the film and actually go on the adventure with him.
I feel like this came out around the same time as the Mila Jovovich Joan of Arc, and they were very similar films.
The Messenger. It would have. Oh no, yeah, that's right, Joan of Arc. Yeah, and there's another kind of one like this too, like another Viking-y type.
99. They were the same year, so they were kind of the copycat movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was definitely enjoyable. Antonio Banderas is great.
Yep.
The only thing is that they kind of at no point do they really. There's 13 of them. It's kind of like there's too many of them to spend any time. On learning their names even. So when 6 of the 13 or 7 of the 13 are killed, you're like, which one got killed? Which is the one that's dead now?
Uh-huh.
Is it the Archer? I don't know. But, a lot of fun. And the last one I watched, which I haven't seen, I would say almost since 1999, was Go.
Doug Liman.
And it's so 90s it hurts. The soundtrack is fucking amazing. The movie it kind of does that Tarantino kind of 3 separate stories that interweave thing. And it's like all set on like, I think, is it New Year's Eve?
Christmas, I think, isn't it?
Or Christmas.
Yeah.
Christmas. Yeah. Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
And these kind of 3 different groups of people on Christmas Eve and what they get up to. One's, Sarah Polly. So it's Sarah Polly, Katie Holmes, Jay Moore, Scott Wolf, Taye Diggs, Timothy Oliphant in a very early role, Simon Baines, William Fichtner, Breckin Meyer, James Duval, Nikki Fritz and Tane McClure, two of my favourite Skinamax actresses.
The capital roll call of the 90s.
Of the 90s is in this.
Yep.
So Sarah Polly's doesn't have enough money to pay rent, so she tries to do a kind of a drug deal on the side, and she leaves, but she can't afford the drugs. She's like, so she promises Timothy Oliphant, the drug dealer, that she'll pay him after she sells them, and she'll leave Katie Holmes at his place as collateral. And then all sorts of shit happens.
One of the great soundtracks, Go.
Fucking oath. It is amazing.
I have the CD and I used to absolutely play it on repeat.
Yeah, thrash it.
Yeah, so
like, and Len, Steal My Sunshine, which always appears on TikToks on those one-hit wonders of the 90s. But even like, I love that Goldie song. that's in it.
Yep.
Whereas, I love to, and he's doing like a Sean Connery accent.
I'm trying to remember the name of the one song that I just love the most.
Cha Cha Cha.
No, I should know it off by heart, but I don't. It is Gangster Trippin', definitely. Fire Up the Shoe Store. That is an absolute fucking ripper of a song.
So,
yeah,
yeah,
I
right.
put it. It's on the Good Movie Monday playlist on
Right.
Spotify. Back when we used to have songs on the show.
I think every song in this soundtrack should be on that playlist.
Yeah,
This
I
and
know.
Empire Records, two of the greatest soundtracks of the 90s.
Yeah, just the best.
So yeah. So
And
I watched a
Doug
bunch.
Lyman's just been announced to be directing the latest adaptation of The Stand, the Stephen King one.
Yeah, look, really, another one.
I know. There's another one, a film, not a miniseries.
But it needs a miniseries because it's a fucking big story.
Or maybe it'll be an epic film. Maybe it'll be like
maybe it'll be a Denis Villeneuve part 1 and part 2.
Well,
type
I
thing.
mean, films get longer.
Yeah. Well, that's it. So yeah, the June part 1 and June part 2 are probably the length of The Stand part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4.
I'd be quite curious to actually see what a good director could do with The Stand in a 3-hour amount of time.
Right. Yeah.
Like, can you condense The Stand to 3 hours if done properly? Can you trim the fat? Like, that's the question.
And I would say, look, I don't know what I said about it at the time, but the more I think about it, I didn't enjoy
The new one?
the remake.
Oh, I didn't like it at all.
And Whoopi Goldberg was fucking terrible as Mother Abigail.
Yeah.
The Nick Andros character sucked. Everything sucked about it.
Yeah, I just didn't like from episode 1, I was just something about was off-putting for me. Anyway,
and it did it in the wrong order. I didn't care for it. So, but didn't Doug Lyman do the fucking Roadhouse remake?
He certainly did. Yeah.
So for me, he's kind of
he's a hit and miss director. Don't get me wrong. Like he's
Go was like one of his first.
Was his first, I think.
First films.
Yeah, and then from that, I think he got Born Identity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so there we go.
Which also has a great soundtrack, admittedly of maybe only one song.
Moby.
Yeah. Well, that run song. Yeah. But there we go. That's the show.
That is the show.
That's the show, folks. It was a bit of a long one.
Yep.
Even despite not having an interview this week, we still managed to chat.
We can't help ourselves.
The shit out of it. So, as we said, go to Movie Monday, goodmoviemonday.com, buy a t-shirt, buy a hoodie, support the team.
Support the team.
Gotta support the team.
We want to see you in one. And like, subscribe, share, all that kind of stuff. It's on the screen. Yeah.
And unless something horrific happens, see you next week.
Bye.